without memories of the past. They kept on calling these things phones long after people had pretty much stopped using them to talk to anybody. Folks today are never gonna know the joy of swiping and swiping to escape their horrible lives a minute. Or maybe just escaping having to talk to other people about their own horrible lives.
Hit me apart. Ain't nobody.
Got 2 historians left.
We're so close. The signal's coming from just beyond this ridge.
Stay on the lookout. If you see any movement, run. Sit tight, people. I'm gonna clear the way. It's time for some answers.
Lush gardens turned to desert. But they must have had it under control long enough to build a city. So what happened? I wonder what the city would have looked like in its full glory. It's tragic to never know.
found some more writing from Monroy's people. I think we must be approaching their colony. It seems Monroy didn't believe the Pax were so peaceful. When their texts started getting fried, he suspected the Pax were trying to sabotage him. Then, just as a storm was brewing up, they caught the Pax doing one of their obelisk rituals.
Did Monroy think the Pax were causing the storm?
I thought the same thing when I first saw August in those ruins in the forest.
Monroy ordered his soldiers to stop them. It was on that day Dr. Indira reported the full Pax death.
We collect all the right people. Perhaps we can let their story.
demanded explanations from the packs and access to their powers. They didn't understand. They offered everything they could. They led Monroy through the jungle to their sacred city.
Probably this city. The place we've discovered.
Wait, and something to that effect, the last video I put out was a sponsored video from Outriders. So they paid me to make the video, but they just said, hey, kind of just give us your thoughts, like, go wild. And the video is literally, the first part, I'm bashing it. I'm like, you can't even play to the servers or whatever. And I submitted, I was like, we'll see what happens. And they're like, it's good. Yeah, they're like, it's fine. Which, I want to say, like, obviously, if they would have been like, no, you can't say these things, I probably just wouldn't have ever posted it, right? Like, I'm not the type of person who's going to, like, lie for a sponsorship. But I was surprised and also really impressed that they were like, we're not going to shy away. We know our servers are having issues, right? We know there's issues going on. They're not trying to pretend like everything's fine, which a lot of other developers. So we talked about the Call of Duty crossbow accidentally going live. They didn't even talk about it for like 6 hours, right? It's just like Outriders has been quite transparent, which has been good.
Right.
Yeah, do you think that Outriders is better than Anthem at launch? 100%.
Oh, undeniably.
Yeah.
Because the reception of the game so far has been overwhelmingly positive. I mean, some people are like, this isn't my thing, and that's totally fine. But there's a lot of positive press about this game out there right now. You got even like some really critical people who are generally very critical of games and are kind of hard on them, especially at launch. People like Maltassi, people like Skill Up, who are always just like, I'm totally candid, that's my thing, here's what I'm feeling. And they've got a lot of game experience to back up, their initial thoughts and feelings about games. And they're both like very positive about this game. I've seen a lot of positivity from generally negative people. The game's being received really, really well. In fact, it was in the top 10 for peak concurrent player base on Steam this week for 3 days in a row with up near 150,000 concurrent Steam players.
And speaking of that, it had a higher peak concurrent player base than Borderlands 3 ever did. So Borderlands 3 release and 2. Yeah. Well, 2, obviously 2 was so long ago, like a decade ago.
Right, yeah.
But when I honestly am flabbergasted by that. Like, I actually can't believe that. Like, Borderlands 3 was so hype.
And that was during the days when the servers were having issues, by the way. That was during that stretch.
Yeah. See, here's the thing, though. They've gone up because now, since the servers have finally opened up, like, more and more people are actually coming on and playing.
I kind of feel bad for them because I do think it's better than Anthem, but because the servers have been down, everyone's complaining and saying, like, oh, is this Anthem 2.0?
Yeah.
And, like, how many people are in the Twitch chat saying, like, is this worth $60? Is this Anthem? And, I think it is much better. The end game, 10 times stronger. I'm not saying Outriders is amazing, but, like, Anthem's endgame was ass. The looting systems in Anthem were pretty ass. Like, what were we doing the one day? Shooting that golem and, like, trying to farm this golem for, like 10 hours trying to get legendaries.
I don't think the Anthem loot system was that bad. The problem was, like, so much of it was glitched out, and so it didn't work. You'd put together, like, an amazing synergy. You'd have this tricked out amulet. You're like, oh, I'm so powerful, and it wouldn't even work properly, right? So, like, that was the issue. There's more, like, glitches like that where stuff wasn't working properly. In Outriders, it is different. And the synergies, dude, so, like, I said this in my video, but, like, holy crap, it is a breath of fresh air that the devs are literally like, go wild. Like, there seems to be no concern with what might be overpowered in Outriders. Whereas, like, Destiny is, like, sunsetting weapons because they're too good. Oh, you're having fun? Nerf! Like this, nerf! We're taking away half the game! You idiots! You know, they get one buff, one debuff, right? Whereas Outriders, dude, I played a Technomancer and I blasted through the campaign because what you can actually do is transfer some weapons over in the stash, so you get some guaranteed, you dismantle them on your new character, so you get some guaranteed perks. So you just use the twisted rounds, and then there's a perk where if you get a kill with twisted rounds, you get 40% of the ammo back. Or you can have a weapon perk where you get a kill in the last 35%, you get all your magazine back. With an LMG, you literally never run out of, not twisted rounds, toxic rounds. You literally never run out of toxic rounds. I beat the whole game. This
ground on everyone toxic rounds. I never reloaded. I was like, how? And again, coming from a Destiny backup, you know that they would be like, only get 5 shots of toxic rounds when it goes away and recharges for 3 minutes, right? It's a random right there that you're like, do whatever you want. Like, combine ridiculous synergies. Yeah. Counterpoint. Absolutely, toxic rounds and all rounds is great. Most skill builds, absolute dog if you go to the higher worlds here. Now, Ryan, I see a shot. I see your face. Oh, my Devastator build is working. Devastator is fine because it has built-in healing with Tremor or whatever. And Ice, well, okay. Are you using Golem though to reduce damage like 65%? Well, of course you do. That's what I'm saying though. If you run around as a trickster, you're like, I'm gonna whirlwind. You're not exactly the trickster. You know what that means is you can't use your abilities on a lot of classes and do ability to open. It's just very unbalanced in a lot of cases. And I was starting to play.
Are you researching the build very well? You know about like the Firestorm build?
The Twisted Rounds build on Trickster is so much fun. It's a full war because it has bleed rounds, then you get vampiric mag, so every kill that's bleeding enemy gets 50% of your base back. Unlimited Twisted Rounds! I don't know it. I think a point of the round base, like the stuff in Buckle guns, it is so ridiculously good. Because the guns themselves are so powerful. And the fact that you can take an exotic target and put it on another gun, is I did that. You know that random shotgun where if you hit someone, they float into the air? Yeah. I was doing it randomly on my Technomaster. So I took the perk, I put it on an LMG. I was literally spraying everybody, and they're all float in the air. So I'm like, this game is like 16 scopes now. I'm really just running this guy down and float in the air. But again, it's like kind of refreshing. It's like, it doesn't take itself seriously. It's just like, go wild, get some insane synergies.
Yeah, and a lot of those things, it's like, it would be easy to criticize and say like, well, does that make it too easy? And quite frankly, the answer is no, because they have this excellent system for customizing the difficulty level of your game with the world tier system and then the expedition tiers as well. Because those builds like that they're kind of fun and silly if you're playing casually, but if you take that into like a tier 10 to 15 expedition, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's going to be all that useful.
I did it.
At tier 15?
Yeah, tier 15, Trickster build.
You think I'm some kind of casual here?
We're in tier 15.
Yeah, that's literally what we all think. We all literally think that.
Well, you should.
I
think the game is definitely fun, but I personally have been like a little turned off by some of the jank camps and like the fact that the second I swapped from like bottom 3 Trickster to top 3 and like anomaly rounds, it was like, oh my god, this is like 3 to 4 times easier. And I made a video talking about world tiers and stuff, like throwing up world tiers back, like you're really not getting buffed out. The damage is gonna tank. And every comment is like, you're an idiot. I'm playing at max world tier with my anomaly rounds, and I'm like, there he is. And like, oh, I'm using my toxic rounds. I'm like, yeah, I know you are. Because you're that good. So you just disconnect between the scaling of the weapon. Get your weapons drop. You feel like those have a lot of damage, and you stack anomaly rounds on it. And it's just, I don't know, I think they need to also like look at like, okay, so like Earthquake gets bonus damage. I think they need to just up that, like 30, 40%, so you're not having to use 2 abilities all the time to kill an enemy or whatever. It just seems like the ratios need a small adjustment for those builds to be up front and like on par. Because right now, if you're speedrunning through those and you're trying to get the best rewards, it's all about speed. And if I can kill it 3 times faster, just headshotting it with an anomaly round, it's like, kind of get
I agree, but I think that you gotta remember that certain abilities, certain perks scale with level. So like if you have a perk that's like added 4,000 weighted knife or like the knife damage. If you level that piece of gear up, it's going to go to 4,500. If you level it up, it's going to go to 5,000. So like a lot like weapons, you need like whatever your max gear score is, you want a weapon of that max gear score because it's so important for DPS. But if you that is a downside of running an abilities build, then you're going to need like multiple of your armor sets with those perks to be max tier to be. So hopefully
they can go in and adjust some things and balance some stuff. I think another super dumb thing, if I'm being honest, is if you're doing those drop pod missions. You know how if you do a few, you get drop pod resources, and then it unlocks other ones. We have to pay drop pod resources to do them. Ones you have to pay, they don't get any better rewards. They get the exact same rewards if you do it. So why would I pay for one if it doesn't give me any different rewards? As far as I know, if they do, they don't say it anywhere, and it doesn't feel like it when you do them.
That's like the world tier system. Like, why would I make it 10 times harder and get the exact same experience per enemy?
Because you get more legendary stuff.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's just like, why? Like I feel like there's some
that's a good point. That is a good trick. When I got to the final boss, and I was slaying everything with my freaking mentor. I got to the final boss, and I was like, alright, has it helped? I was like, I dropped down a world tier 2, so I was like, I don't give a crap. And it just 2 seconds, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna get legendary from this guy, because it's like goes right to a cutscene, you don't even get rewards really.
You get a guaranteed legendary at the end of the campaign, because there's a chest waiting for
that later. No, I got that chest, but I turned my world tier back up.
The thing is, though, is that you bring gear to like your max level, right? And I feel like it's not too expensive. Like, you definitely need a farm. But I was watching like that solid FPS guy, and he had a level of 9 gun that he had farmed in the demo. Yeah. And he was like leveling it up. He was like 32 titanium, and he had like 40,000. I know he's like been farming a ton, but he brought it up, and like compared to the resources he had, it was pretty minuscule. So, you know, the nice thing does get really expensive.
It does get
low 50, yeah.
But actually, when you get low 50, the best strat is to kind of go look for blue gear that has perfect stats. Like, you want, like, nothing like the phone spot or like whatever. Then you increase the purple, and you get a choice between 3 perks. Right. You can find, like, a good perk. And then, like, it's easier than getting legendary, where it's like you have to have 2 good perks or 1 guaranteed good perk, so, and the perfect stat. So, it's nice if you kind of craft your way up there. Yeah, it actually gets good. So, yeah, anyways. No, it's just we're getting, like, into the details of, like, the grind. Yeah, but it's like, these are only problems that are going to come up after you've spent 50 hours, 40 hours, playing the campaign, getting all the way leveled up, getting to tier 15, then you're going to notice some of these problems. And they're easily fixable problems. Right? Yeah. Just like a couple bumps and nerfs enough for damage in somewhere, and then you have ability to build track. Now, if you look at Outriders, kind of one of the final things I want to bring out today. If you're looking at Outriders, I think that it's going to have an audience long-term, like, more like Destiny, or I think it's question. Is it going to be, people play it, they love it, it's awesome, that's a great question, because, like, views-wise, if I put out an Outriders video, it does okay at best. You know, it's not doing that well, and it's like, it's kind of annoying. You get the people like, oh, just go back to Destiny. You know, you're not even getting good views. It's like, what am I going to post to Destiny? What, like, a GM guide where I recommend using the same freaking gear for the last that I did for the last GM and the last GM because it's all the same crap? You know, like, what am I going to, like, so, I'd rather play something new, but it is, like, it's not, it's popular, but it's not, like, absolutely banging, you know, it's not like we're talking about Grand Theft Auto here, and, like you said, if this is, when you beat the game, you're kind of done. When you get to the top of the end game, you're kind of done. If there's no, like, this is not a live service. And in some ways that's refreshing, because it's like, you're not drip-fed content, you just actually, you know, it's like you get the whole burger and the fries. Bungie gives you the burger, and then it gives you 1 fry at a time for like 8 weeks, right? It is kind of nice to have the whole product, but on the other hand, once you're done, you are kind of done. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah. Well, I think it hits I think it scratches a different itch. I don't think that everything needs to be a hobby game. You know what I mean? Not everything needs to be a hobby game like Destiny, where you're logging in every week to do your weeklies and stuff like that, and get those banged out. It's kind of refreshing every now and then to just have a game that's like, here's what it is. Take it at your own pace,
but who?
You know, in your own time. And there is a lot of content there. I mean, like I said, I'm 60 hours into the game, and I still have a lot to do. I'm not at my. I've been kind of going slow too. I'm a bit of a completionist, so I'm working on my legendary sets so I can get set bonuses, which they're kind of okay. None of them are too incredible, but that's just kind of a thing I'd like to do. but I'm not even at the max expedition tier yet, and I'm 60 hours in. Like, there's plenty of it's going to take you a fair amount of time, and for the price tag, I think it's totally worth it because the experience. I've not regretted a single one of those 60 hours. They've all been fun. To me, it's honestly cheap entertainment, so I'm totally okay with it. I mean, I'm doing the Apex grind every week. I'm doing the Destiny grind every week. You know what I mean? It's like, it's nice to have something that's just going to be a breath of fresh air every now and then for me to just play.
Yes, breath of fresh air, 100% jump in. I don't think it's catching me, and I don't know why it's not catching me. Like, here's the thing, is when a game comes out normally, like even like the Division or Division 2, in my free moments, I was like, I gotta get back on because I want to get back on. In this one, you know, I was busy helping my brother with a condo. He was buying a condo. Congratulations, Dustin. He's got his first place. And, you know, I'm doing that. I'm doing some renovation stuff. And there has been multiple times where I've had time to play, and I'm just not. I'm still level 27. I've watched some streams. Like, I'm up to date on it, but I'm like,
I'm going to challenge you a little bit.
Do
you think a big reason that's the case is because you're a little bit behind and you just like feel like you're behind now? It's gonna, like, there's no point to cover it now because that was me at Genshin. I was like, I will never catch up because the way it's designed, you can't catch up.
I think the big one is Fruit and I were playing, and I mean the thing is when I was doing a lot of that stuff away from the server stuff, so I didn't get that much. But we started playing, and I was like, I just want to check something. And I walked from bottom tree to top tree, and it was so much easier. I was like, it almost killed the game. And I know that there's other abilities to do it. When I got more abilities, that's cool. But it was such a stark contrast from using my whirlwind and my mobile blade to just using anomaly rounds that I was like, damn. It just felt really dirty to me. It was so strong that I was like, the gamer in me that wants to get an end game, I'm going to use this. And then it took a little bit of the fun factor away from me. So I don't know. It's not grasping the same way. And like with Passive Exile and stuff, which we'll talk about later, like I find myself wanting to grind and like checking on the loot. And in this game, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the enemies are boring to me. Like, I don't know if it's that. I don't know. I like the ability, but the problem is like with my mobile play, it started getting repetitive by the end of the game.
It's funny though because like that's part of the reason I like it is because, you know, you mentioned like it's like the division or whatever. I got back into it. I mentioned I got back to the division by the time Genshin was going. One of the reasons I had to kind of stop playing is because it rolled onto a new season and like Destiny stuff. It's like I don't have time for 2 live service games. Yeah. Like Division is like going to grind 100 hours to do everything. You know what I mean? I don't have time for that. And Passive Exile was the same way. By your recommendation, I started playing Passive Exile. I played a crap ton of like 3 days. Got to the end game. Like about a week, I was level 80 or whatever it was, right? And then I started to realize, I started to look up guys and like how to craft their gear. I'm like, this is going to take hundreds of hours, which is fine if that's your main game. But because Destiny's my main game, it's like, I don't have time for this. That's why I kind of prefer that Outriders is like this somewhat simple package. I think it's fun, and it's over when it's over, and it's not going to drag you along for months, right? And I actually like it because of that. But if you are looking for a new main game, then that's a negative, right? If you are like, I quit Destiny and done with it, I want a new Destiny-like game, you're going to probably have fun in Outriders up to a point, and you're going to be done. So,
well, I mean, it depends. It also depends on how much game time you have. Like, I got some buddies in my business. I mean, their game time is kind of limited. They work full-time jobs, they got families, and so their game time is kind of limited. So for them, a game like Outriders, even to do 60 hours of gameplay, while for me it took a week, for them it might take 2 months. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, and I think we kind of really got off a little bit off topic, is the original interesting topic was like, it's so interesting watching this game, and even Tash, you said it didn't grab you, but this is not like a terrible game, right? When it functions well. Usually the crashes have something to do with people joining you, I've found, or like starting multiplayer games, where you're actually in the play, my experience, everything works fine. Enemies are floating in the air, blowing up, and crazy stuff is happening, and it still works fine, right? And it's like, you watch it, but because it had these server issues, it's like people who aren't playing the game are like, trash game, right? It's like, you
bro. And it's like, people talk about Anthem. It's like the people who like, even with Anthem, never played Anthem. They just wanted to fail because it was EA, right? It's EA, and it's gotta fail. And I watched the YouTube video saying there's gonna be loot boxes, which was a complete lie. And then it has these issues, and then they're like, I told you. I get there is like a actually pretty dedicated group of people that actually played Anthem, and they're like, I had fun. I had fun for multiple hours, like 40, 50 hours. I got into the end game, got bored, stopped playing. I don't hold a weird resentment against the game. Really unfortunate they never got like Anthem Next going. I feel like that would have actually been really good. But I would recommend this game over Anthem. I think it's a more solid, like, complete experience. I think Anthem had, honestly, Anthem had more potential. I'm just sticking to it. I think if they would have, like, got that endgame under control, fixed a few things, I really liked certain aspects of Anthem. But,
well, Anthem got canceled. So that puts us to our next topic, because Genshin Impact getting canceled, question mark?
Yeah!
Take
it away, Dan.
Yeah, you're the one here.
Look on Twitter.
Yeah, so
cancel Genshin.
Boycott Genshin. Boycott Genshin. So this is for multiple reasons. The number one reason, and this is the one that got most hype, was kind of racist tones for multiple different things. So one of the ones is they're talking about whitewashing characters, and in the descriptions of a lot of the characters, so Kaya, a lot of different characters describe him as exotic. And, like, that's kind of like what do you mean exotic? He's a person. And, yeah, he's got a different skin tone, but, like, why is he exotic? And there's just, like, a few different references throughout. There's a lot of reading you'd have to do to kind of find all of them, and they're not maybe directly said in-game, but in a lot of the lore and the kind of the character details, it makes references like that. And then another one is, there's a girl named Xinyan, and she's, like, whitewashed. Like, people are saying, like, she's, like, super whitewashed, because there was pictures of her before, and she was much darker. And then when they put it in game, like, she's, like, essentially white. Like, they like, made her a little bit more tan. And people are like, why did you do that? Because that's not what she was supposed to look like. And there's all these little things that are starting to come to light, and people are saying, this is a little weird. But the biggest one, the one that is actually enraging a lot of players, is the Hilly Churls, which are kind of the basic enemies in the game. They had, like, a dev blog thing, and it showed them editing and working on Hilly Churls. And right beside it is, like, a Native American footage of like, a tribal dance. And they're like, whoa, like, you're mimicking these Hillagers off of, like, a Native American dance, like, tribal dance. Like, why are you doing that? And they've got some tribal masks, all these different things. And it started causing a lot of outrage in the community. People were coming out saying that they were offended, and, you know, this is very tone deaf. Like, why would you be doing this? Little beard, and he's making comments about this girl named Flora and how he's going to profess his love and he wants to take her on a date. Well, Flora is like a 6-year-old girl in game, and everyone's like, what the hell? Why is he saying this thing? It's super creepy. It turns out that, you know, the model for Flora, she actually was an adult back in the beta, but they didn't change the voice line. So there's a lot going back and forth. People are showing screenshots, and then, you know, there is a little bit of debate on how bad is it. But there's kind of like a rising concern that Asian Genshin creators are a little sus, and people are calling for boycott of the game, and yeah, I mean,
it's an
like
oversight, but it's a pretty big oversight.
It is, and, you know, the change with Xinyan, they 100% changed her skin tone, and it's like, why? Why did you do that? And, I don't know, it's weird, and maybe it's a cultural thing too, because, like, they are from, like, China, like, MiHoYo is, like, a Chinese company.
Yeah, like, the Chinese Communist Party does not have the best track record for being tolerant. I can't say anymore. We'll get taken down. But do a quick Google search about what's going on in China, and like there's real bad stuff, right? So it's like, and I'm not saying MiHoYo is. Well, I mean, if they're operating out of China, they're, you know, they've got to play ball with the Chinese Communist Party because it's a totalitarian regime. Right. So it's whatever they want to happen happens.
So it's bizarre.
Definitely a different environment over there.
And I mean, even just like the player base is getting really tired because there's nothing to do in game, and like a lot of content creators are kind of switching to where it's like, damn, they're like this game is really falling apart.
So that's something kind of interesting. Is that like a lot of these complaints, while very valid, they kind of when I was looking up, looking up this stuff, it was like these complaints, and then always put on was also like predatory prices and like predatory chances. And so it seems like it's kind of like a culmination of all these things where people are getting upset about this game. They just keep adding character to get more money, not adding any meaningful content. The content they do add is tone deaf in this regard and stuff like that. So just people are like kind of building up this frustration, it seems like.
And you know, the craziest thing is the amount of business emails I get, because I've wished on some people's accounts in the past and everything. The amount of people begging me to wish on their account, almost out of like seemingly like desperation, because they can't get the characters they want because of this gacha system. Like every day I log into Discord and some people have found my name and have Discord messaged me saying like, "Can you wish on my account, please?" Like the amount of begging in Genshin because people feel helpless is insane. It's insane.
Man, that's rough.
And I don't know. It makes you wonder like, when is the breaking point? Because it has been dead for a long. Like there's been nothing to do, and I've been milking it. I understand I've been milking it, and like there's no other games that are really catching me because when it's good, it's great, and when there is combat activities, it's amazing, and I love building a team. But even the recent updates, they were like Mario Party Light. There was like shoot the balloons out of the sky, and then there was like a Fall Guys thing. It was this whole event, and it was like 2 weeks long, no combat. Like hardly, like almost no combat, and it's like I have spent days and weeks farming artifacts,
perfecting my build.
Exactly, so I can hit 100,000 damage with my ability on D-Loop. Where am I supposed to use that? And I feel like I'm a crazy person bringing it up all the time. Like it's like a combat exploration game with no combat or exploration. Like once you've done that first little bit, they're just throwing like mini games and like a dating simulator. They added a dating simulator where you like go on these little side quests with characters, and there's different paths you can do, and it's fine. And I understand that people that like anime probably really like that, but I'm like, I didn't sign up for this, and I kind of said if they don't add combat soon, I have to quit. I have to quit because this isn't the game I signed up for, and I thought it was. I thought it was an RPG game, but it isn't. So it's weird. I'm canceling the game. People are canceling the game. Like it's crazy.
They actually added a dating simulator.
Yes.
Like where you go. Okay, hold on. So let's say you pick a male character, and you go and you like. What is there like a speed dating? There's like
they're called hangouts.
Explain this.
They're called hangouts. So like you would go up to Bennett, you'd be like, "Hey, you're the guy in Mondstadt. Like I heard you saved the city," and it's like, "Yeah, man, I did." And it's like, "My name's Bennett," and then you'd go and you'd like go on like a little hangout, and some of them are like maybe a little bit more datey than the others, but it's mostly just like it's kind of like going on.
Can you do it like in between like two playable characters, or is it just a playable character with an NPC?
It would always be like your main character goes on a date with one of the in-game characters, so like Bennett or Noel.
So just like the main character of the game.
Yep. Either you're the male or the female, and then you've got like 4 characters that you can go on a date with.
So the characters that everyone is sitting on, like with the girl, like that's where you go. Oh hey, D-Luke.
They're not all in the game.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of smart because, like, let's be honest, Genshin Dating Simulator was like someone in their basement that was developing that game.
The audience for Genshin is very. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little weird, and they are like crazy simps for the game. And if you skip the game, they're like, no. Like, have you ever thought that maybe it's a gacha game and like they don't want on this end game? And it's like, okay, well then I don't want to play. Like, then it's not for me. But people will defend it and the earth, and it's like,
well, yeah, because there's 17 girlfriends in that game.
Yeah, and it's like I spent $4,000 on the tool. You'll make a good romance. It's just weird. I mean, I think people are up in arms, but that's pretty much it for the beginning.
Alright. Yeah, it really does seem like a culmination of like all the crowd people are like really set out. Yeah.
So
real quick, after our next topic, we're gonna do our typical Advanced GG
with a surprise.
But there's a surprise. We're gonna do a giveaway. The information on the giveaway we'll talk about after this next topic. But there's some pretty cool news that came out today. Well, I thought it was pretty cool. 100 Thieves. Nate Shot, the owner of 100 Thieves, came out today in video format announcing that he's going to have 2 co-owners of 100 Thieves now, Valkyrie and Courage. And that was really cool. I mean, honestly, you think about how much weight Nate Shot has to carry as like the sole owner, right, of 100 Thieves. Think about how diverse they are now.
Well, they've got Drake too, right?
Like who's in 100 Thieves? They've got their whole they got their hands in a lot of the pots, right? The competitive side of things. And then beyond that, just content creators in general, they're signed with them, living in their facilities, all that stuff. Like,
Shin, I'm so clueless since I don't really pay attention to this stuff, but like was Courage and Valkyrie already part of 100 Thieves?
They're already part of 100 Thieves. So they're promoted from within. Yeah, so a little bit of backstory here. So like Courage used to be with MLG way back in the day, right? That's how he and Nate Shot met, right? Because Nate Shot was a competitive cosplayer way back then. So they kind of had a bit of a history there. And they had chatted about 100 Thieves a long time ago and what that could look like for them both to be involved in it. And Courage ended up doing his own thing for a long time. Nate Shot did his own thing. Nate Shot started 100 Thieves. Courage then ended up moving into the 100 Thieves, house with them and living with them for a while before joining. And now, they've been great buds for a long time. Now he's been in 100 Thieves for a while now and now a co-owner. Valkyrie she's like, honestly just I don't want to say rags to riches, but it's like she started out just a GameStop worker, and now she is literally the most influential female streamer, period. Doubling Pokemane's.
He posted like the analytics, and it was like double.
She's like 12.8 million watch out. Like, it's
Do you
crazy.
think some of that though is because she's on YouTube? Like this could be kind of like YouTube versus Twitch of Pokemon versus obviously they do different content, but like I remember us talking about Valkyrie hitting record numbers with Among Us, right? Record concurrent viewers because of YouTube, and I think if you're looking at pure watch time, I think YouTube is better at bringing in the views.
Could be.
Subs, there might be a little bit more of a sub donation culture on Twitch, so potentially you didn't even make more revenue. Or are you saying no?
Didn't you see the post that they made? Like they came out with the post YouTube from YouTube
No.
the other day. YouTube is the highest in-app purchase app in the world right now. Because of memberships, because of people using the membership feature.
But that's just because it's so much bigger. I'm saying like for a streamer, if you have a streamer with 5,000 viewers on YouTube and 5,000 viewers
like
on
sub
Twitch,
to viewer
I
ratios.
feel like if you have 5,000 viewers on the same platform, I feel like, and this is just hypothetical, but I just feel like Twitch has more of a donation sub culture. So you're throwing biddies, you're doing all this stuff, right? Whereas YouTube is like people make their donations and that's it. They make their donations. Not to say that's like, I'm not trying to insult any of you guys. I'm just saying like they do the donations and then they do the memberships, and that's kind of all it offers. And it doesn't have biddies and cheering and this other stuff.
Question. But if the viewership, so let's say Valkyrie is getting double the viewership of Pokemon, and that could depend on the game and multiple different features. But if she's getting double the viewership, she's also going to be getting way more ad revenue. Probably 5 times the amount of ad revenue because the CPM on Twitch is dog meat. It is terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe people aren't doing memberships as much, but there is Super Chat, right? There is Super Chat, better CPM. Like, I've contemplated going to YouTube a few times, and I mean, Ryan, you've done some.
I've been doing a bunch of YouTube streams. It's fantastic, dude. Like this is the thing about YouTube streams that gives me energy is chat is always moving. Whenever I stream on YouTube, like people show up and chat is just like do, and I'm like, it just gives me life, I'm bouncing off of comments here and there while I'm playing, and there's like never a dull moment. I end up like ending an 8-hour stream just like this, like You know what I mean? And like, that's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. So I mean, YouTube has a lot going for it. Their algorithm has obviously been in the works for a long time. It's very well refined at this point. So I think that
There's gotta be
the platform
hundreds of
does
dead
series a lot of
packs in
favors if they already have an
executed,
existing
piled up.
This is
This whole city
viewer
is
base
a
to launch on.
masquerade.
This is a huge deal, and it is very important that we have a female head of this major esports co-owner.
You think of esports, yeah, you think of like young men.
Now listen,
like
I don't want
yeah.
chat for chats all like, oh, just because she's a woman or whatever. It's like, I know sometimes pushing that people do push that narrative, and it seems unnatural, but this is a good thing, because guess what? You guys, you want a gamer girlfriend? There's got to be more gamer girls. Like, there's still something important to say is like, there's still a stigma behind being like a gamer, right? You're with, like, if you're at like a family barbecue, right, and you tell people, they're like, oh yeah, what's your hobby? Gaming, right? You'll be like looked down upon. It's weird, right? Where it's like, what do you do? Rewatch Grey's Anatomy like 6 times a day? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Like, how's the office for the fifth time, buddy?
It's not like you're doing anything better, but it's like, unfortunately, it's like people would want. I see a subgroup of people who like, they claim they want, you know, the gamer girlfriend. They want more girls in gaming, but then they're like super negative when there is these girls in gaming, or they're saying, oh, she's just there because she's a girl or whatever. It's like, dude, you want to be welcoming. The more gamers there are, the better it is for everyone. Because there's more people in gaming, then there's more revenue for these developers to make better games. There's more, you get a more bump in player base, better matchmaking. It's just literally better for everyone. So I think it's a good thing, because it's like, if you can encourage more girls to get into gaming, that's a fantastic thing. Because if you think the stigma's bad for men, it's bad for women as well. Like, it's weird. Like, my wife, like, I'm not a gamer, I never game. Give her Animal Crossing, like 8 hours straight playing Animal Crossing, right?
Sure.
And these other games, like, she absolutely loves, right? And it's one of those things where if you get past the stigma, and why hasn't she never tried other games? Because there's a stigma around gaming, right? So I think this is a hugely positive thing.
I want to know what the buy-in was. Like, I want to know what the buy-in was, and what percentage. Did they buy 5%? Are they 10% stakeholders? I can imagine it was pretty big. But, you know, they're going to profit from... They've got, like, mortgage or Rocket Mortgage and stuff. Like, they've got big sponsors. They're going to get...
They're fine. They're fine. Yeah.
It is definitely probably like a multi-million-dollar deal to get a stake in 100 Thieves, because they've done like revenue-generating runs already. Like, they've got investment, and it's in the excess of like 20+ million in some of these runs. So
crazy.
It's not an easy buy-in for them. That's for damn sure.
They're sponsored by everyone. It's like, here's the Cash App headquarters. Here's the Papa John's porta potty outside. We got like, it's all this random crap.
Right.
We got that Tostitos toilet in the Papa John's porta john. Like, we're ready to go, baby.
And like, whether you like nature or not, you have to respect how they've really been trendsetters. They've really broken the mold for organizations globally in terms of esports teams. And being one of the first organizations to branch out and be like, listen, we're not only about playing competitively, we're also about being entertaining and taking on a lot of content creators under their umbrella. I think it's worked out very, very well for them, and they're just sort of changing the stigma, because there was a lot of times it was sort of like this negative stigma. You see like these org boys and people trying to get signed by orgs. It's all about being super sweaty, kind of toxic, and that. You know what I mean? Like, I just think they've done a killer job of redefining what it means to be an esports organization, and like, really taking it to the next level.
And like, picking up Valkyrie, amazing pickup, because she is such a just like a great content creator overall. She's played variety and succeeded in variety, and like courage. Like, he is a good player, but he's not the best player. But his personality, he has one of the best personalities. He's constantly on and funny. And so, I think that's the meta, is like, you don't have to get someone who's going to win a tournament for you. You can do that on the back burner, but you need people that are going to get eyes on the brand. And 100 Thieves has been doing that better than a lot. And, some of the other, big esports, some people picked up, like TSM picked up Myth and like Hamlets and all that. And they were really, really good players. And they need to do that is pick like the entertaining people that are good players and not focus on what's their kill death ratio. Are they going to win a tournament? They need to be able to do both, especially in this climate.
Yeah, it depends on if you want to do. If you want to be, there is organizations that are like, we are the tournament winners. We come, you match against us, you start sweating, right? Whereas, so there's kind of a different thing. I think there's room for it all, right? I mean, in the Destiny community, like G1 is not really like, they're not tournament focused at all, as far as I know. It's just about getting creators into this kind of team, into this space.
That's right.
So, do you want to do the giveaway for Advanced now?
Oh, let's go, baby.
So, if you guys don't know, we are sponsored by Advanced. Not
This place, it was a slave market. Seems like they got hit by the worst storm yet. Hundreds died, humans and Pax. Some of the obelisks were damaged too, so... Whatever the Pax once were doing to control the storms, they couldn't do it anymore. He feared an uprising, losing control. His Pax started to abandon the city. Nikolai Galiakin. When Roy made him general and put him in charge of weapons production.
No doubt the same weapons the pharaohs used against them later.
When Roy, his palace is covered with flags, all with... It's gotta be his face. He made himself king of the Pax.
A king?
A tyrant.
Fuck this.
Courtyard's clear.
Fuck this bullshit. Fucking absolute arsehole.
Monroy was sending out raids to hunt down the fleeing packs. And that's when the uprising he predicted finally found him. But it wasn't the packs. At least, not as he expected.
The Pharaohs. He never saw them coming.
But Monroy didn't retreat. That asshole dug in, out there in the desert, and tried to track them down, where they were coming from. That's when he found the cannon and the great obelisk. He finally understood who the Pharaohs were. But that's when he got word that the city was under attack.
And so it was the beginning of the end.
I've made it to the top. Palace is clear.
What do you see, DC?
You better come out here and see for yourself.
This Monroy is a madman.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for dropping by.
The caravel?
It's not possible. The caravel never left Earth. Its engines exploded. Tens of thousands died.
Then what the hell are we looking at? The source of the fucking signal. Monroy's signal. There's no place beyond the storm. It's coming from in there, protected from the anomaly, just like the uplink in your goddamn briefcase. I don't fucking understand.
Neither do I. It doesn't make any sense. Everyone saw the caravel explode during its construction. Even if the people left on Earth were able to rebuild the ship, they left after us. We were the first. Nevertheless, what's certain is that Monroy enslaved August's people. He butchered them, and they turned. They mutated into savages willingly, so they could fight back.
I'm done with all this. Whatever's waiting for you on that ship, I want no part of it.
Tiago, you can't leave us now. I thought you weren't a deserter.
What they did to August's people. What our people did to August, don't you see? Thank you for letting me walk a ways with you.
We're going to finish this. We're finding a way into the caravel.
This is it now. That ship, the signal, the garden. I'm ready to make some sense of all this. We'll leave on your word, Outrider.
There has to be a way inside the ship. I'll radio when I've secured a path.
There's no place beyond the anomaly. Why are we still heading to this stupid ship?
If the signal is shielded...
Not done going through hell yet. When the pack started to flee the city, Monroy rounded up every last one of them that stayed behind, that were loyal and trusting, and threw them into these labor camps.
But I know of the packs, they could not have survived long in there.
It was all Monroy. When he and packs were turning into ferals, he sent out an order to murder them all before they could transform.
All of them?
All but enough to run his camp.
So increase from 10% for each node. So we've got one there, two, it's 30%, and the current one activated. So it's 38% boost weapon damage. Oh, 5% of your armor. So 5% of your armour. So my armour's running. Okay, so 1.2 is added to my firepower. And I got 38% bonus weapon damage.
It's a diary from Nikolai Galiatkin, Monroy's general. Seems he was overcome with remorse at the end for what he had been a part of. He didn't retreat to the caravel. He decided to walk away from it all, right into the anomaly storm.
Good.
Hello everyone, OSK here. This is going to be the first Outriders video on the channel. For anyone that is new to my content, I have been playing the Destiny franchise for the last 7 years. When I first saw Outriders, I knew I wanted to be a part of it. You guys can expect new videos from me each week. I'm going to be breaking down every class in the game, showing you all tips and tricks for every skill, as well as build setups you all should be running. I'm going to be talking about the weapons you should pair with every class that will suit your playstyle. Basically going to be covering any and all things Outriders. I hope you all enjoy the content here. If you do, feel free to subscribe. And without further ado, let's get right into today's video. The first class I want to go over is the Devastator. The Devastator is essentially the tank class of Outriders. It is perfect for players who want to jump straight into the battlefield without too much worry of their health. Their skills are all based around earth and gravity inspired abilities, allowing the class to deal out damage but also giving enough defense to survive some of the more challenging enemies in Enoch. The Devastator class comes standard with 8 assigned skills. Today I'm going to be covering the first 3 that you will actually unlock at the start of the game. First, we have the Earthquake. This is a seismic interrupt skill that releases a shockwave, which deals damage and stuns all enemies in front of you for a short time. Second, we have the Golem. This is a protection skill that will fortify you against 65% of incoming damage for a set period of time. Thirdly, we have the Gravity Leap. This skill, in my opinion, is a must-have for any Devastator. On paper, it allows you to leap into the air, strike your targets from above for a set amount of damage, as well as stunning them for a short time. One thing this skill does not say, however, is that you can activate it, remain in the air for around 3 seconds, being completely immune to all damage, then simply by not choosing a target to hit, the skill will deactivate itself and bring you back down to the ground, and then the skill will refresh in about 2.5 seconds. I've used this so many times to stay alive against enemies and in boss fights. The great thing about using Gravity Leap is not only for its damage capability, but also using it to survive, regen your health, and waiting the cooldown out for your other abilities. If there was ever a skill to master on Devastator, it is definitely Gravity Leap. Next, I want to go over the early game strategy for the Devastator class. If you are a brand new Devastator, the one simple tip I have for you is to focus your class points into the Warden class tree. The Warden is all about health, armor, health regeneration, resistance to enemy effects, damage mitigation, and finally supporting your fellow Outriders. The Warden class tree will allow you to survive a lot more damage and will keep you alive in most fights. When I first started playing, I noticed a significant difference to my health and survivability compared to my teammates. By using the Warden class tree, I essentially was able to take in much more damage from enemies and eventually revive my team. Overall, the Warden is essentially the ultimate tank and support role in Outriders. I will show you on screen now a few combinations of the Warden class tree and what you want to put your class points into. Early game, I suggest you stick with the Warden class until you feel comfortable with the different enemies and boss encounters. Make sure you practice with the 3 skills we went over earlier and get familiar with the timing of each of them. Once you feel like you have mastered the Warden class, feel free to experiment to see what setup you enjoy using. That's going to conclude today's video, going over the early game of Devastator, the first 3 skills you should focus on, and of course, the Warden class tree. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer them. If any of you want to check out my Twitch channel, I live stream every single day at twitch.tv/1secondkill. Thank you all so much for coming and watching, and as always, I'll see you Outriders on Enoch.
Feel like you're being watched? Hackers could see what you send over Wi-Fi, or steal what's on your devices. That's why Norton 360 includes a VPN for online privacy, device security with antivirus, dark web monitoring powered by LiveLock, and more. Help keep prying eyes out with Norton 360. Go to norton.com.
Why shop at M&M Direct? Well, there's loads of big brands with great bargains. The orders all come really fast, and I'm saving so much money, I'll definitely go back for more.
Oh, so you thought Xbox was done? No, they're just getting started. Okay, so this was a video I hadn't planned to make. I had another one sort of in the back of my head. But then I saw that there's this story going around that Xbox is going to have an event in April. And here's the thing. Yes, it looks like they are rumored to be having an event in April, but they also have something significant in May. They have something significant in June, and and potentially into the future. And let's just start with the April event. So this one's coming from ZDNet, and it's basically about a supplemental Xbox consumer-facing event. And we just sort of had one of these, the ID at Xbox event. I would say would be considered like a mini event, right?
but there's more coming. So let's start about this next one. And basically the quote from ZDNet is as follows. Microsoft is supplementing its main larger conferences this year with smaller what's next virtual.
Wonder what Madame Beauvoir would make of this. Monroy returned to the city to find it under siege. They battled for days, a complete bloodbath. And then, another storm hit. Monroy's people were decimated. That's when they spotted the Flores in orbit and called for help.
They started broadcasting the signal.
But it couldn't get through. Help never came. And Monroy ordered a retreat to their ship and locked it down. All this time, all we've been through. The battlefields, the jungles, the alien ruins, the desert. All we've lost. I can't believe we're finally here. I heard the day we landed, and still, none of it makes any sense.
Oh, I think I'm starting to put it all together. The way the Pax controlled the anomaly with their obelisks, they are what kept the planet's energy in check. They were the balance. Roy stopped the Pax from using the obelisks out of pure fear of what he couldn't understand. The anomaly spread like wildfire across the planet. The storms surging out of control, mutating everything.
All this time thinking we were going to reach a place beyond the anomaly. Only to find the place it all started. Where Monroy started it.
Trying to reach the Flores as it launched.
They're the ones who got left behind. And half of them probably slaughtered the rest for a last seat on the caravel. Tanner and Jakob, we all should have been down there with the rest. Hopeless. Drowning in chaos. Nothing but dictators and madmen set loose.
If the caravel's engine hadn't exploded or killed most of the Outriders,
we would have been the ones left on Earth. 2 more soldiers in Monroy's damn army. Fighting for any way off the Earth. Coming here to slaughter the Pax. And screwing up the whole damn planet before you all ever set foot on it. I'm inside the ship. It's still operational. Whatever's playing the signal, it's in here. Let's finish this together.
let's finish this. The end of the road, one way or another.
Despite everything, we've brought the uplink all this way. I wish Jane could see us.
Listen. Signal. We're here. It works. Oh God, it works. Someone hit the lights.
Look. It's exactly as I saw it. As we saw it. Shanna, that's not real. That's this planet, all right, but it's long gone. No. No, get the fuck off. It's...
Go away. I'm in no mood for this today.
You okay?
You're here. I had imagined this so many times. But never you.
Who are you?
Who am I?
Monroy?
But how? How did this ship get here before us?
How do you think? You people left us to die as the Earth crumbled. But I don't die so easy, do I? No, we built a new engine. An engine that shamed all others before it. So while you were still crawling through deep space, we were already here. Oh, you should have seen it. Their primitive civilization, the natives, they treated us like gods.
Yeah. I've seen what you did to the natives.
Oh, I see now. This isn't a rescue. Why didn't you come when we sent out the distress call? Huh? It's 30 years since the Flores arrived in our skies. 30 years surviving in this hell.
This hell was because of you. My entire life trapped in that valley, slaughtering each other for nothing. You robbed our people of hope before we even got here.
Don't flatter yourselves. You're as capable of every wickedness. The Pax weren't as docile as they looked. They had powers. So much power. Things I had to understand.
So you just rounded them up? You tortured them, you son of a bitch.
Are you really so naive? How long before those creatures tired of us? Before they turned against us? They would have had us on our bloody knees. All that I wanted was their powers. For us. For all of us. So that we could survive, so we could be strong. Don't you see? We lost the Earth because we were meant for something more. There. But for the grace of I go you, my child. Do you think that you would be standing there with the powers of a god if it hadn't been for me? All that I've done for humanity. I saved us.
You cursed us.
But I won.
It's done. Fuck him.
No more wasting time. I have to tap the uplink into the Caravel's power so we can reach the Flores before we...
Shit. We found this. We gotta go.
No, leave me. I have to do this.
Do what you gotta do, Doc. That door won't hold long.
Outrider, if that beast cracks this ship's hull, we lose electronics, we lose the pods, we lose everything.
I'll take care of it. You just get those pods down. right, fucker, I'm here. The only one you have to fear is me.
happening in there?
It's working! I've contacted the Flores. Transmitting the first launch codes. Now!
God damn it, Doc! We can't hold them! This place is gonna blow!
Almost there. Almost there!
Tahini, get out of there! We have to leave!
I can't! I have to transmit the codes!
My God! Carry my God! Get out of there, Tahini! You'll be trapped!
The pods are more important than me!
Tiago!
Get in! I'm not losing any more friends.
Oh, shit. I guess it's over.
The signal. The uplink. It was all for nothing.
Wait, guys, look. Over there.
The pods? It worked?
You did it.
My God. I guess some of the commands went through after all.
Well, like I always say, it ain't over till it's over. What the hell? Monroy's people?
No, I don't think so.
Who are you?
We're from the war zone. Are you the Outriders?
We heard tales about an altered Outriders, opening the frontier, finding a cure in the forest. We've been following your trail since the war zone.
So, what now? We keep moving.
get you to go in the first line for tomorrow morning. The buds! They did it. The fuckers did it.
Hey, you. You did good. But I've got some tech that seems to be intact still. What's your preference? Must have been a fine ship on its own. And Roy didn't deserve it. Outrider. Guess we didn't make such a bad team after all. Change the goddamn flag.
Ready whenever you are.
guess I'm too stubborn to know when to quit.
I am grateful for it.
I was hoping you'd say that.
We may have brought the pods down, but they are scattered all over Enoch. We will have to recover them one by one. Finding them won't be easy, and we're not the only ones interested. But I have a proposal for you, Outrider.
Let's hear it.
When you recover a drop pod, bring the resources inside to me. With Bailey's help, I will trade the contents to Juno and Corrigan and your Grand Marshal, Shira. We let them divide the materials, and in return, they ship us gear from their arsenal for our journeys outward.
So I take it you're back with us then, Tiago.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. But with you, my friend. Outrider, you gave me the opportunity to be the person I want to be. I'd lost who that was, but no more. Thank you.
In the end, only Monroy and a small group with him survived the slaughter outside the walls. They hid in the caravel for decades, waiting for rescue from the Flores.
So sorry to disappoint them. Clearly things didn't go any better inside the ship.
Nope. Supplies ran out, and they hunted each other down, one by one, until only Monroy was left.
A fitting end.
This is Jakub's. Seems he left something behind. Vodka, of course. And a note in Polish. I should go see how he's liking his spot on the hill.
I just knew it. No way you're showing up after all this time could have been random. It's been a long time since I had something to believe in. You would have made Captain Tanner proud, Outrider.
Years from now, people will want to know what happened here. Without memories of the past, the future means so little. Seems funny now, the things we thought important. I remember spending hours in front of my mirror just to convince... Well, well. I remember these. Must have been a treasure in a box of goodies, saved from Earth by some spoiled little kid who probably didn't last a year on this rock. Can you imagine we once had a world where war could just be a game for kids and their dolls? I have a hard time accepting finality, but I suppose I must accept you have found just about finding. Sometimes people ask me what'll happen when we lose our past, and I say, I ain't thought one bit about that because I ain't gonna let that happen. This here museum is a testament to your collecting, sweetheart. Wouldn't be anywhere near as meaningful without you.
We saw the pods coming down. Had a big, goofy smile on her face.
Sheer Goopman. You're drunk!
How the hell does the ECA expect traders to make do without government support?
I find some semblance
God help you all when I'm gone. Who the fuck is gonna hold this?
I know you have a million questions, but I don't have time. You let me sleep.
Something you forgot to mention about the Outriders and our long fucking sleep.
Seems you already know.
You could have told me the ESA turned us all into lab rats.
It wasn't up to me. Do you remember how many colonists came here aboard the Flores?
I don't need reminding.
500,000. That's it. We knew we couldn't save everyone, so we took who we could, and we left billions behind to die on Earth. Why would we risk everything we built for a few dozen more?
Well, give it time. Soon enough, a few dozen will be all that's left.
What are you standing there for? Keep moving! Only the dead get the day off.
Outriders who did.
Ain't nothing
Who brought
free.
down the pods. Trust.
Thanks again for getting the guy who killed him.
Hey! Yeah,
Here,
what?
Altered. So watch your body. Watch it. Don't step on the line.
That'll do nicely. You know where to find me.
Don't suppose you got nothing to do with that light show, Hunter? Nah, you're too busy decapitating mon- By the grace of your murderous arts, another beauty adorns my wall. Thanks again. Keep in touch, Hunter. I got a feeling your services are gonna be in demand. My friend, I do believe we are gonna get along just fine, you and me. Don't go too far. I'm gonna have more work for you soon. Y'all do real fine work. Come back when you're looking for more action.
Give me the good stuff.
Ujio hears when you're not doing bad for Ujio. You do good for other people. You're complicated, my friend. Ujio likes that.
Target neutralized.
Pleasure doing business.
The ship suddenly lit up overhead and pods rained down. If I sit here
in the wreckage zone. I'm not sure what effect high rate might have on it.
Beg your tolerance.
Notes. Interesting. Hey, Doc. Something that's been driving me crazy. Can you explain to me how we're still able to use radios when the anomaly distorts the signal, our probes, anything long range?
That's it exactly. We're using analog shortwave radio on a high-frequency band without a lot of power, which means we can communicate over short distances. A digital signal, like the one we're tracking, has a far greater range and is less prone to interference. Still, over a large enough distance, the anomaly will distort it.
Whatever they were defending, we're almost in. Zahidi, the Outriders were stockpiling weapons in this bunker. A whole damn lot of them.
How many are we talking?
Enough to hold off the apocalypse. And then some. Well, fuck me. Zahidi. I think I'm staring at a nuke.
A thermonuclear bomb? I wonder Tanner's daughter was willing to give her life to keep that hatch closed. I think you might be very wise to close it again and throw away the keys.
Zahidi? Something's happening. The machines. They're crashing.
You need to get out of there before it explodes.
Warning. Safety controls failing. Missile launch imminent. Warning.
Okay, that's not good. What do I do?
I don't know. You think I know anything about nuclear bombs? Wait. Is there a refrigerator around?
A refrigerator?
Yeah, a fucking refrigerator. You know what a fucking refrigerator is?
Yeah, I found it.
Oh, thank God. Now get inside.
What?
Get inside the refrigerator. The lead will protect you.
That is the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
I saw it somewhere.
That's not gonna happen.
Countdown to launch initiated.
Oh, fuck.
Launch
Wait.
in T-minus 120.
Okay.
119.
There's a slot for the key.
117.
Listen to me. You've got to move fast. You've got company. Insurgents just rushed the hatch.
113. 112.
Well, that's just great.
finished in T-minus.
Shit!
8.
I'm not gonna make it!
7, 6, 5, 4,
Fuck!
3,
Mother...
2, 1. Missile launch sequence aborted. Have a nice day.
Yeah. It's over. Zahidi, you got any ideas where we might hide some keys?
What's this?
It was Jakob's. What's the label say?
Well, it's in Polish.
And can you read it?
Whoever finds this bottle can only make it a few words after that. It's vodka, drink, grave.
Well, I guess we're in the right place.
Troje zdrowia.
Twoje zdrowia.
Good. He'd never forgive us for drinking without him anyway.
Went down on your own terms. Just like you said you would. About the only promise you ever kept.
Why am I still here? It should have been me. It should have been me.
Caravel must have been a fine ship in the state.
still don't understand how they went back in time to get here sooner.
They didn't go back in time, stupid. Their ship was just faster.